Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Let us begin with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Yes, Nityanandam, welcome to this beautiful Vakyartha Sadas. Sadas is a discussion, and a Vakyartha is taking the knowledge and the divine wisdom from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as he revives the teachings of the Hindu scriptures and gives them to us in the most user-friendly way. So, in this discussion, we will be discussing about success versus excellence. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has always taught us that the real success or the real way to approach life is not to be too goal oriented. Beautifully, in the very third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism translates the Karma Yoga of Bhagavan Sri Krishna and gives this to us in the most user friendly way, makes us understand how to actually have fulfillment in our life and not be caught by the depression of success. Yes, that is the word, depression of success, and that's the word that the Supreme Pontiff himself coined, that many people go through. And he says after the many years come, the age that people usually experience depression of success will become less and less and less. Usually people have that at the time of middle age, but now that is going to become less and less. So that is one of the ways he sheds light on something that many people face even after having achieved more of their goals in life or achieved the goals in life. Still there is an inner discontentment that they experience, and the strategy has to looked after again. We have to see how we even strategized for the success we have and what was the purpose with which we wanted it, and the whole thing needs a new revamp, a new redefinition. So let us take a look at a clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is beautifully sharing about the difference between success and excellence. And today we are going to be celebrating in the Paramashivam Darshan, the Darshan of Somaskanda Murti and Shishyabha Murti, the Murti where Subramanya himself is teaching the Pranava Mantra Om to Paramashiva. And in this we get to learn more about really what is the excellence with which Subramanya lived and thrived. Welcome to the discussion, Nityanandam. We have already a few people giving the comments. Nityanandam Antoine, Nityanandam Nityanamaya Priyananda. Welcome to the discussion and the Vakyartha Sadas that we are having. So let us take a look at Swamiji's clip and begin our Sadas.
Working for success, planning for success always leads to failure. Working for excellence always makes you successful. Understand? Planning for success, working for success always leads to failure. Working for excellence always makes you successful. Listen and internalize. Understand? Person who works for success will be very shallow. He will be working dependent on others' opinion about success, because success is always about others' opinion, what others feel you are successful. All idea of success derived from others, sustained by others, changed by others. All truth about the excellence evolved from you, substantiated, supported by you, and manifested by you. Understand? Excellence is integrity based, reality based, present moment based. success is others' opinion based. A person who lives with all the time strategizing cunningly bothers about success. Person who lives with a simple integrity evolves with excellence. Integrity is all about whatever Paramashiva has given you, you will manifest everything, breaking all the life negative patterns. Even in your sleep, you know how to be in tune with Paramashiva and manifest state, space, powers, being, super consciousness of Paramashiva. Excellence is all about from where you are, raising yourself to the next. Success is all about others and how things go with others. I tell you, with idea of success, you will always be wavering, diluting yourself, deluding yourself. With idea of excellence, you will always be grounded. If you see the earliest photographs, videographs available to us, me conducting any public event, public programs, or my enriching activities. The first photograph is me doing Ganesh Chaturthi, maybe when I was 10 or 12. And the next we have me doing Chandi Homa in Tiruvannamalai and Kaundappadi. Understand, if you see those photographs detailed, whether the side tables or the tables covered with a clean white cloth, or my hand key, or everything needed for the sacred rituals, the way it is arranged. And those days, I did not have even one assistant. I was all alone. You can see the key of the room where I was staying in my hip. Means I did not even have a second person to whom I can hand over the key of the room where I was staying, where the puja items are kept. Actually, I lock the room only if the public property is kept there, because I myself don't have any personal property. I locked the room where I was staying because all the puja items, Naivedyams, are kept in that room for the 3-day ritual. So the room was locked, but key is in my hip. You can see in those photographs. Understand, if you see those photographs, you can see very clearly from that time I started my life until now. It is all about excellence. If I organize Chandi Homa today in our ashram, there will be nothing different between what I did in Tiruvannamalai and Kaundappadi. You can see everything. Cow dung on that new fresh mud pot, fresh ghee, Sruva. Maybe now we have all those items in silver. In those days, it was all wood and mud. Other than that, everything, understand, whether it is mud or silver, I was not bothered about the outer success. It was all about inner excellence. If you see this, now, how we do Chandi Homa in Bangalore Bididi Ashram, and how I did in 2000 in Tiruvannamalai or in Kaundappadi, if you see the photographs, you can see very clearly. People who look with the eyes of success will see, wow, that time it was just mud pot, now it is silver pot. If you see with the eyes of excellence, the intensity is same. Intensity is same. I always worked for excellence. Mud pot became silver pot, maybe the side effect of my excellence. But I don't consider that as a success. And I don't consider anything as success. Tomorrow itself that silver pot may become even gold pot. But I don't consider that as success. I consider excellence means intensity with which we connect with Devi and the power of Devi manifesting, Parashakti manifesting. That's all. Excellence makes you excited more and more. Idea of success makes you feel bored, tired, even if you achieve success. If you don't achieve success, you become frustrated. If you achieve success, you become tired and bored. You can see the photographs of me doing Chandi Homa in 2000, 2001, and you can see the photographs of me doing it 2018 or 2019 or 2020. You will see the intensity same. Understand? The outer external things might have changed. It was a mud in 2000, maybe brass or copper in 2004-5, and silver. Now it may become soon gold. Who knows? Understand? I always work for excellence. That is why the so-called outer success happens or not, I neither get frustrated nor get tired or bored. The worst part with the success is, if you don't get, you will be frustrated. If you get it, you will be bored. But with excellence, you will be intensely excited. Go on feeling the excitement. If you see the video records of me doing Chandi Homa in 2000, and if you video record now me doing, you can see the Bhava Samadhi same. Because intensity is same. And I tell you, excellence is always integrity and intensity based, not external things based. It is always integrity and intensity based, not external things based. I tell you. If you are excellence based, you will not bother about even enemies, because you know very clearly your enemies are fools and stupid fellows. Why will you bother about them? You will be so clear, I tell you. When I was 10 or 12, I conducted the first, or at least we can say that the first available photographs we have is my public enriching activity. Is the Ganapati Chaturthi, Ganesh Chaturthi. I conducted in Tiruvannamalai when I was 10 or 12. If you see even the photographs of that time. And if you talk to the people, reminiscence of the people who were with me volunteering, the first batch of KAILASA volunteers, if you talk to all of them, you can see very clearly, you can get it from them, the details. First, collecting donations. Whoever gave, if we had our own notebook, in that we noted down, and all the expense is done properly, like making a pandal and paying for the musician, buying the sandal paste and doing all the rituals properly and conducting the puja. After the puja is done, taking the prasadam in bicycle, going to home, whoever donated, distributing that prasadam to all, and then finally bringing the accounts and remaining we had little money. And with that money and that accounts paper, the whole thing was put into Arunachaleshwara temple hundi as offering, surrender of the whole thing. I think maybe we had some 75 paise or something remaining money after all the expenses over. With that money, with the account slip, we offered the whole thing to Arunachaleshwara temple hundi. Understand, the whole thing is excellence based. That is why now we have made hundreds of Ganesha temples, but it is all for Ganesha. It is all about intensity. Nothing to do with success. Nothing to do with success. It is all about intensity. You can see the first batch of KAILASA volunteers. The photographed first batch of KAILASA volunteers. We had a detailed account, all the sandalwood paste, flower garland, the pendal, and Nevedyam, and musicians, everything. From that time till now, I am working for excellence. That is why the outer world idea of success never interferes in my life.
Yes, what a beautiful way the Supreme Pontiff has clearly shown us the difference between success and excellence. And we have a beautiful sadas and a question, and some people are also answering in the comments about what is the difference between success and excellence. Swamiji has beautifully shared in this clip that when it comes to success, and when you achieve the success, you feel tired and bored. And then when you don't achieve it, when you fail, you feel completely hopeless. And this is the binary paradigm that you experience when you work towards only as an external success. What is external success also is defined by Swamiji. It is what other people say is success for you. This is the other person's opinion. And when you work for other people's opinion, this is how it will be. Beautifully in the Paramashivam program, one of the beautiful ways that we help focus people back onto themselves is really healing one of the chakras known as the Anahata chakra. In that Anahata chakra, which is the heart center, you understand how your attention seeking really binds you to always seeking other people's opinion. But of course, not everybody will be satisfied by you. It is not the point. The point is not to work for other people's opinion. Yes, as a way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been able to show and prove that he is for Hinduism, for everyone. Someone is even negatively commenting about Swamiji in our comments here. It is about time to all of us to understand why it is in a situation where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has again and again come back and proved, even though after facing so much of hatred. He comes back again and again because he is intense. He has worked on his excellence, and he has proved it also that comes from his young age itself. And you can even tell many times whenever you started out doing something, whether you know whether the success happens or matters or it doesn't, what really matters is what happens at the end, how you feel at the end, the inner excellence. Because you started with a great feeling and you did it out of simple love to make this happen. And when it happened, you celebrated more, and then you have so much more energy to do more. That's the difference. Actually, that's the key that you have to find out. The energy level when you work towards something and you get it. Do you feel drained, or do you feel so much more energy to do it all over again? Even if you fail, do you feel so much more energy to do it all over again and do it better? That is where you know when you're working on your intensity and you're working with the simple integrity to yourself. The simple integrity to feel happy, to feel blissful, because that's what Swamiji did when he was a small kid. He loved Ganesha. Ganesha was everything. And he made a beautiful Ganesha Chaturthi celebration happen. And if you see how he was at 3, and if you see how he has set up Kailasas all over the world, if you just go and talk to the devotees and talk to those who are right now celebrating the temples that are created and the embassies of Kailasa, whether in Los Angeles, Seattle, in Ohio, or all of these places, one thing they'll say, Swamiji had such excellence. And he was not able to just have that excellence, such a way he radiated it, such that everybody thought, that's possible for me also. And people we saw, 80-year-olds, 75-year-olds, 60-year-olds, people who you thought will be retired and can't even move, those people came together and built the temples. They found life again, and that is what excellence brings. That is what you celebrate. And especially when people get older, you just, the whole idea of having any depression about your success is just debunked, because you started from a space of simple integrity. Integrity to what you love, and just say, I love Ganesha, I'm going to make a temple for you. And the same way Swamiji has beautifully said, he has made hundreds of temples of Ganesha all around the world. And this is how it starts. It starts with one Ganesha and your love for him. The way you're able to have your power manifestation and he accepts your food. In the Paramashivam program, you can also come and see how Paramashiva will eat the food that you offer. This is a reality. We are not speaking anything that is out of the norm or something that is bogus. What we are speaking is real. We have video evidence and proof, and people has experience sharing, Ganesha ate my food. This is a reality, and this is the first day experience in all of the Paramashivam programs. And this guy is going on saying the mantra again and again. But really, you have to see how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing out Hinduism and really sharing the truth of Hinduism to the world. That is what frightened so many people. So many anti-Hindu elements were so frightened by the excellence of Swamiji. They're saying this excellence will do so much damage to what is being created around the world to dumb the human beings, to enslave the human beings into particular thought currents and trends that make people be living on fear and greed. When someone comes out and says, I'm going to liberate you from the fear and greed that you have, he will attract the enemies, unfortunately. And unfortunately, many of you know the rest of the narrative. So this is what we are seeing is happening. But that doesn't matter for Swamiji. He will not take that that there are false cases and there's so much of wrong allegations, false defamation on him, and take that and become feel like a failure or go back. He will take it as a strength and go forward and build a nation for Hindus. He will say, why do I have to say that if I am going to be attacked for standing up as a Hindu in the world? And many other people should not have to go through the same thing I did. So I'll also stand up for all Hindus and create a nation for Hindus. That is the work of Sri Kailasa. That is the work Swamiji is. And that is the proof here we are seeing. And you must understand that is the work. Just see, the whole digital infrastructure is there. Pratik Rajput, you are chanting the wrong mantra. We should really chant the mantra, how it was all made possible. How the first nation of all Hindus is possible. You have to look at it from an intelligent point of view. Let's have a good discussion here. Okay, then we have some more people talking about the topic as well. Madhavan Midod, hearts, Nithyanandam to you. And we have Antoine Johnson, Nithyanandam, welcome. I think Denio Garcia, examine the role of societal conditioning in shaping your definition of success and excellence. Actually, if you see one of the debunking that we do inside the Paramashivam program, this basic debunking of how you can move your attention from other people's opinion to your own true excellence, to your own integrity. You really discover that love is there inside of you. You don't need to search outside for it. And when you realize this, you will not depend on others or people's opinion at all. You will realize you are love itself and you will be integrated to it. You will immediately do the work from that space of love and you will radiate true excellence. These are the points that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism brings out, and all of the people who are experiencing the Paramashivam program right now, which is freely available in this right now, this Chaturmasya. And simple integrity. Yes, the beautiful ways that all of the Kailasa's temples that you can see are built in all the embassies of Kailasa around the world. You can see clearly that it was just the love for the deities that they cherished. They had Paramashiva, they had Paramashiva Shakti, they had Swamiji's deity. They built the temple slowly, taking care of the deity. They are now to a point of simple love and integrity that they won't even say that they built the temple. They'll just say Swamiji did it. He took care of it. That is the simple love. That is the simple integrity. Because it was only the love they wanted. They didn't, we manifested a whole nation, yes, but it was just the integrity to Paramashiva and the excellence and the love to him that really has manifested. And that is what we want to celebrate. Anytime you see you have done anything, you have achieved something, and you feel more energetic about it, you feel like you can do it again more better, more enthusiastically, or you can do more, that is the way you should look at life itself. Literally, in Hinduism, there's no such thing as a retirement. People who have finished their married life, grihastha, take the life of vanaprastha, literally starting over, becoming brahmacharya, and literally re-looking at the whole world, deconditioning themselves and healing themselves of all of the conditioning that is put on them about other people's opinions and the success that's there only on the outside. You have to work towards it. If you fail, you have to get back up, and the hard work concept of that is there in the world is all conditioning. The only thing we need is simple integrity, simple love. And that is what is there in Swamiji's example. He's sharing how beautifully he did Chandi Homa. Now Chandi Homa is done in all of the Kailasa temples around the world, just because his simple integrity. And people loved his excellence, the way he expressed it, the way he would just manifest. People were saying when they were building the temple, you can't see temples built like our Kailasa temples. A matter of 2-3 days it comes together like it came out of thin air. Because it is from the love to Paramashiva. It is the love and the integrity to Paramashiva. Because of that, these temples are made. And this is what we all subscribe to when we come to the ecosystem of Kailasa. To live by this very excellence that we see in Swamiji, and we want that as a reality for us. And that is our lifestyle as Nithyananda Rudras. We look to see him as the example because he has done so much by his very presence to really remove all of the conditioning that, hey, another person's opinion matters. No, it does not. Yes, other people are there in your life. Their opinion matters, and you can use that to intensify your excellence. That's different. That is not being belittled by other people's opinions and thinking that is the success in life. It's different to take another person's anyakara of you and look into yourself and seeing that as a truth that you are giving this experience to someone. If someone is giving you feedback, you are a very short-tempered person, you need to work on this. Then it is a feedback, it is Paramashiva himself telling you, and that humbleness with which you receive, that it is Paramashiva, that simple integrity is all we need to align to. Receive it and work more on the inner excellence. And that is how Swamiji has done. No matter what was thrown on him, no matter what the anti-Hindu elements called him, he said, I love Paramashiva and I am here for that, and I will hold on to that integrity. So that is the way that we want to share, the way that Swamiji is talking about intensity and integrity. And James Beckham, welcome, Nithyanandam. How being in the present moment can help you get out of the life negative patterns. I think one of the beautiful ways that Swamiji says, living in the present moment, being in the present moment, yes, true, meditation practices are there. But have you ever heard of something called falling into the present moment? These things happen to you. When you see a beautiful sunset or a beautiful mountain, or you just fall into everything, mind drops. That is how mind drops. It cannot be actively removed. It is just a surrender, and it drops on its own. And the same way, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives the powerful cognitions and techniques for the same manifestation to happen every day. When we live the Hindu lifestyle of yoga, puja every day, we live and prescribe to the again and again the truth that being in the present moment is a manifestation of just living, just doing everything intensely. Whatever you're doing right now, do it intensely, do it totally. Be in it with all five of your senses, with all of you. Give you to whatever you're doing. That is what's going to do it. And that is how Swamiji beautifully teaches us in the Paramashivam program how to be inside the present moment, in this moment, and do. So the work is the present moment, we just fall into it. And the way it is done beautifully with the blessings and the divine initiation of Swamiji is that he just, if you just surface all of the patterns, and what you're saying, the negativity patterns and all, if you surface them and know they exist, and bring an awareness, but not be scared of them, not be afraid of failure and these kind of things, you'll find that those patterns just drop off, are just blown away by just the presence of Swamiji in your life. This may be a very hard thing to understand for those who are skeptics, but this is what will really show the difference in somebody's life. And then we have what is the benefit of staying grounded? Staying grounded is learning about the simple integrity in your life. This is what I want to manifest. This is what happens. Many people do so many courses and go online, go into different internet rabbit holes, trying to find out what is the secret to success, what is the secret to success. What Swamiji shares is it's simple love and integrity. I think one more person is giving the abusive comment. Please contribute to the conversation. If you don't have anything nice to say or something contributing to the conversation, please find somewhere else to express your hatred or express your Pietri is asking about what is multidimensional being actually means, and how do we know if we are actually becoming one. Actually a very good question. Let's see the next clip. I think that is what's going to really tell us. Swamiji himself was trained to be multidimensional. So let's have a beautiful discussion on it.
If you have attended the programs with me, Inner Awakening or Nithyanandoham, Sadashivoham, Paramashivoham, Mahasadashivoham, any program with me or Kumbh Mela, one thing you will find, all program will be highly intense.
You can delete it.
10 days what you do in your normal life, you will be doing it in one day. I tell you, that lifestyle,
English.
if you make the style, Inner Awakening or so many want you. Take up 20 projects. Do one part-time business. Do one part-time job. Take up one Sangha project very responsibly, KAILASA project, and deliver it. Take up something as your commitment to KAILASA. Like this, just take up multiple projects. If one is stuck in something, don't waste your time and life getting stuck in that. Do the another one. If that is stuck, that is clear, do the another one. I have 100 projects in front of me. Live. If one is stuck somewhere, I will not be keeping quiet. Immediately attending, let me attend to the next. Okay. We are working on expanding the Madurai SSJP. Buying more properties around. So the negotiation is going on. That doesn't mean I will keep quiet. I'll be working on next Kashi SSJP. Come on. What happened? We were thinking of expanding it to the bigger level. Whatever originally belongs to Kashi SSJP, we lost it. A lot of things have been taken away. We are trying to buy them back. Paying money and buy them back. So I'll ask, what is going on there? Like this, 100 projects live will be in front of me. If one is stuck, I'll work on the another. If one is stuck, whoever is involved, interested in this kind of a lifestyle, I keep them directly connected to me. I tell you, only people who are directly working with me are Kailasavasis. They don't even, for years, I have not even remembered their name. Not had even one. Means, be very clear, assured, you are not part of Kailasa. You may be hanging around. If I am in communication with you directly, if I am giving you constantly instructions, part of my these 100 projects which I am managing every day, where you hear from me, be very clear, you are my Anga Devatas. There are some, they are there in the Kailasa, but no direct communication. Means you are in the Salokya, means Kailasa you are there. Salokya Mukti, but nothing more than that. If you are directly getting instructions from me, the 100 projects team, then be very clear, you are verily part of me. I tell you, you also build your life like this. The residues, hangovers related to sex, food, all these three is one and the same. All these three will just evaporate. You will enjoy the real food, you will enjoy the real sleep, you will enjoy the real sex, but you will not be having the hangover. If you make yourself active, pick up multiple projects without fear. If you attended any of my program, whether Boham, Nithyanandoham, Inner Awakening, or Sadashivoham, Mahasadashivoham, Paramashivoham, directly physically conducted by me, you would have seen 10 days what you do in your life, you will be doing in 1 day. That is the lifestyle you should start making of you. Understand? It is all about sitting for a few days and organizing yourself. The gadgets you need, the schedule you need, and courage you need, confidence you need. Few days you need to sit and organize. Maybe a week. But once you organize yourself, at least 25 projects. Decide you are a Paramashiva, so you have 25 heads You should project. In my case, I decided, hey, I am Paramashiva, not just with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands. So I will do hundreds of projects. You guys start at least with 25 projects. Every day there should be minimum of 25 things to do. Don't try to cheat yourself. Oh, going to restroom, one project. Washing, that is another one project. Don't try to cheat yourself. A solid projects which will give the result with a 2 or 3 months end, which you will be able to complete it in next 60 days to 90 days. Like that, take up some 25 projects. This multi-dimensional activism will remove brain fog, stomach fog, the veil you put on yourself. Most of you have arrested yourself with your fears, destroyed your life with your selfishness. Extreme selfishness. That's the right thing. I'll use the word. Extreme selfishness. You think, oh, if I do all this Sangha work, I may not have time for this, my personal work. I tell you, do Sangha work, KAILASA work, you will see how much inner space expands and the kind of a training, understanding, everything you have. You will be so alive, so active. I have seen how the active parents make their kids' life amazing, and how criminally negligent parents make their kids' life hell. These criminally negligent parents teach the same cunningness to their kids. Oh, if you do this, you will be just exploited and taken for a ride and you won't have time for your personal things. Stupid. Stupid.
Yes, that was a beautiful clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was sharing about how we are multi-dimensional by nature. And I think that is how we can answer Pietro's question, where he says, how do I know I'm becoming a multi-dimensional person? The truth is, you're already one. And that is there not just in a discussion today, but that is a reality from all the way from when you were born and before that also. And also, you are multidimensional is a truth that is explored in one of the chapters in the Bhagavad Gita also. I think one way we can also really embrace the way the Swamiji is teaching us to be multidimensional is literally doing the work that he has given us to do in this Chaturmasya. That is to take the Bhagavad Gita book and go to everyone, to any people. Make it like 11 people. Have that as a measure of your excellence. Rather than saying a success or a goal, it's a measure of your excellence. Yes, I deeply feel moved by the teaching of Swamiji in the Bhagavad Gita. Let me take it to 11 more people. That is the way we cognize it. So you go and ask. And if you find yourself having to see 11 people and you are telling them, come back to me and ask any questions about Bhagavad Gita or anything you need to know more about, then you find out you need to cater to the listening of 11 more people in your life. And in that way, 11 more, you're expanding the way Swamiji is sharing. So you have not just one project, but 11 causing 11 realities or 100 realities is the way. And that itself is a project. When you have someone who wants to make something happen, you go all the way to help them to make their assignment, say this Bhagavad Gita book will help this happen. Then you have to be there for that person, directly involving that person's life until they have understood that they need to make a decision and they help them go through that. Being there and causing other people's reality is one of the ways to really live this intensity that Swamiji is sharing. And you find a way When you have the simple integrity and simple love, it just radiates to everyone around you, and it just has a beautiful way. Swamiji was giving a comparison, saying, if I do the Sangha work, what will happen to my personal life and all those ambitions and making those things happen. But the fulfillment you feel that you want to get from the personal life is actually possible if you have the simple integrity to the words that Swamiji is sharing. Just by following those words, all the connection and the fulfillment that you wanted from having anything personal will just manifest on its own. And that is why Swamiji says, always engage yourself in doing literally 100 things. Plan it out. Do the whole, break it down. One project, take it, schedule, and put a schedule. This is the time, this is the date, this is the deadline. And then take another one, do the same thing, and then do the work. It's about doing the work. It's about being there, continuously doing the work. That is the way. And we have Sundarmurti Nithyanandam. Good going, thank you, Nithyanandam. Welcome to the sadas that we're having. We're having a discussion on embracing excellence versus success and failure that we experience in the normal societal understanding, and also understanding one of the cognitions that Swamiji explains that we are, one of the powerful cognitions that he shares we are, is multi-dimensional by nature. In fact, if you see the 5th and 6th chapters of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita Decoded that we are going to be sharing, those are the chapters that embrace the truth of being a multi-dimensional being. In fact, that yoga is known as Sannyasa Yoga. The little chapter name is called Sannyasa Yoga, and the chapter subtitle says, you are by nature multi-dimensional. That is one of the chapters that we discuss. You can read it, share that with 11 more people today, and even those 11 people, you can follow up with them. Have you read this chapter? I had an understanding from this chapter. What do you think? Do you want to try it out? I think this will work. Involving and getting directly involved in other people's lives, helping them read, and yourselves doing the sadas and reading the Bhagavad Gita is the celebration that we are doing in this Chaturmasya. Let's do a lot of intensity and really work on our excellence on this one beautiful Guruvak that Swamiji has given us. And we have Asha Binwal, Om Namah Shivaya, Nithyanandam, Om Namah Shivaya, and Ajareshwari Tripura Sundari. Yes, beautifully, everybody celebrates mantras, and it's beautifully that they're sharing all of the God's names here. We're having a discussion on excellence and the difference between, and anything you want to share about it, anything you want to know about Swamiji, any questions about Kailasa, anything about the work and the Paramashivam program, you can share with us. We'll be happy to share with you. Welcome. And then Jenny is all sharing, if I work for excellence, I can do my best with what time I have. If I'm scared about a need for success, I may get more depressed because I am having smaller goals and feeling less capable. Yes, it is a comfort zone, and that comfort zone is always what we would say is our own laziness. But when we work for excellence, I can do my best with what time I have. Even these two ideas we should drop, I feel. When we are trying to embrace how Swamiji is telling what excellence is, we don't even know what is the best. We only know what we love. We love this. We want to do whatever we can for it, and we'll go out of the way to make this happen for this person or for this thing. And that love, that simple love, that is integrity. That is the way that Swamiji is sharing. Many times he showed that is just what is integrity. You have something you want to make happen, a word you want to tell yourself that this should happen for me, or a word you tell someone else that this should happen, I should make this happen for this person. That is, and following up with that word is just the feeling you have to just move yourself to make it happen, and that is done. You don't have a cognizance of what you're capable of, what is best, what you can do, and what time you have. All of those parameters are just broken through when it comes to working on our excellence, because that's the power, and that's the way we should embrace the word excellence as defined by Swamiji here. Not as a way to say, I can do my best and I can have, if I have the time for it. Yes, but do the best, do more than that, because we are capable of that. Do more and 10 times more. That is what we're capable of. That is how we are trained here as sannyasis and as Nityananda Rudras. Take up everything, put your hand everywhere and learn everything and see, and keep going, keep going, keep going. And the pace at which we are able to run this whole digital nation and run the whole, celebrate with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as he guides us and runs this whole Kailasa, we see that we are just able to embrace the multidimensional nature that he is raising us to be. And he himself is continuously in the state, as he's saying, one of the Kailasas is to move forward. These are the projects pending. This is where we need to move. This is also the projects pending. This is also where we need to move. How much he's able to comprehend and grasp. We are not overwhelmed by it. We are inspired by it, and we cherish it so much. The more and more you start loving that, and that is what you want as a reality, the more and more you will heal from the conditionings and the impossibilities of being one-dimensional. You may be living a life where you have a particular education about learning how to do one particular thing, and then you spend 20 years to do that particular thing in your life, and then you retire. And then we call that life. That is not life according to Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the truth that it's about living as excellence. Whether you are, whatever age you are continuously going on building temples. How many temples in a lifetime was able to be built by the kings of Hinduism? Because they had that excellence inside them. They embraced that quality of Paramashivatva inside of them. That is why they were able to manifest. So Antoine is also sharing how Swamiji trains us to be multidimensional by doing just following the walk, the simple love. As we understood from the discussion that Swamiji is talking about excellence, there he is saying he just focus on the simple integrity and do, and have that same thing, and do that in all different ways also. Possibilities of taking Bhagavad Gita out in the digital way. How can I take Bhagavad Gita out in different platforms? This is the way to really do the understanding inside of ourselves how to be multidimensional. Mystic Waters there it is saying that Swamiji encourages attendees to organize themselves and take up at least 25 projects. How can this multidimensional activism contribute to personal development and inner expansion? It is just going to break all the ideas that we have about what we are, who we are, what we can get capable of. And that is the way to really do it. Just drop these ideas that you are only able to do this much, are able to do this much in this much amount of time. We come to these conclusions to stop ourselves from becoming fully our potential. And the really way to do it is just do those 25 projects as we visualize ourselves as Paramashiva and visualize ourselves having the 25 heads. That's literally the multi-dimensional possibility that is there, ability to handle so much. Just involve. And the way you can do it right away is just involving in other people's lives, giving them the Bhagavad Gita book, getting to know how they are able to understand it, and have these ongoing follow-ups and go on enriching as we celebrate this Chaturmasya with the beautiful blessing and the Guruvak that Swamiji has given us. And Mr. Quarters is continuing. He also emphasizes the importance of direct communication and involvement in project. How does being directly connected to a purposeful mission impact one's sense of belonging and fulfillment? The way we have to understand direct communication and involvement in projects is being there. In this moment, it should happen. In this moment, somebody who wants to come over some pattern, this moment, make it happen for them, and don't let them leave them until it's done. That is how you can be directly involved. That is how we involve ourselves, and that is how Swamiji even built Kailasa. So we can say how we are saying that he was able to help even 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds who thought life was finished, they are retired. They are building temples. They are bringing the deities from all over the world into their Kailasa embassies and building the temples and celebrating the various gods of Hinduism. Because of that excellence that Swamiji was able to spark out of them, knowing that that is the purpose of life, and by directly involving in their life, helping them remove whatever needs to be removed, and showing their possibility as being multidimensional, as Swamiji is teaching us. This is the way we directly involve and be involved in the projects. Each person you touch, each person you meet is a project. Each person you want to enrich is a way to expand yourself. That is what responsibility is, and that is the way Swamiji is teaching us. Yes, and encouraging any more people, we are going to be coming to the end of this beautiful discussion. Is there anything else that anybody wants to share? Any closing statements that you want to take away from this discussion? Go ahead and share. Thank you all for joining. And one thing we wanted to share, you want to join the Paramashivoham session today evening. It is going to be the darshan, or the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be manifesting the Paramashiva in the form of Soma Skandamurti. and this Murti is one of the most famous Murtis amongst the celebrated Murtis of the Sakala forms of Paramashiva inside of the temples. You will see whether it is in the temple of Tiruvannamalai or in the temple, all the temples have this Murti, the Somaskanda Murti, and for this Murti they do the Utsavas, the whole Brahmotsavam and celebrations happen around this one deity of Somaskandar, and of course it is why it is called Somaskandar is a Sa Umaskandar. He is Paramashiva who is there blessing all of us with Uma, Paramashiva Shakti, and Skandar, the very completion. Today the whole Paramashiva sessions is just an expansion of really implementing whatever we have discussed today, living with excellence, embracing excellence, and really tapping into our multi-dimensional nature. These are the sessions that are going on inside the Paramashivam program. It's not too late, you can still join them and get to yourself ready to receive the blessings of Soma Skanda Murti, the way that Paramashiva himself blessed Subramanya in his life and really groomed Subramanya to be an example to the world of what is a product from Paramashiva himself, how the son of Paramashiva should be. Subramanya is the celebration of that, and everybody celebrates Subramanya as that example of a Paramashiva himself. In fact, the Murti, even it is said that the small child of Subramanya himself taught the significance of Pranava, Om, to Paramashiva himself by speaking into his ear. And it's a beautiful story. When he was telling the story to his, telling the mantra, Upadesha to his father himself, Paramashiva said, wait, let me put you, he was sitting on, Subramanya was sitting on Paramashiva's right shoulder, and then he was whispering into his ear, and then suddenly Paramashiva said, wait, don't tell me yet. He says, your mother also should listen. So he moves the baby to his left shoulder, and the baby tells it, because Paramashiva's left side is Ardhangini, is Paramashiva Shakti herself. So he said, and through his parents in that way taught the Pranava mantra. And there is a beautiful temple known as Swaminatha, one of the 6 temples of Subramanya, where he is celebrated as the one who is the guru for his own father Paramashiva himself. And that is the way we worship Subramanya, and as the Skandha, as Subramanya, the one who can teach us and give us the example of how to live as Paramashiva today. And yes, we're coming to conclusion. Antoine is sharing, reflect on your own life and how you approach tasks and goals. Yes, I think he's Antoine, you're sharing how you want to move forward with what you're understanding. Do you tend to prioritize success over excellence, or do you find yourself open to taking up multiple projects with enthusiasm and dedication? I think these questions have beautifully been in this discussion. We prioritize we prioritize literally holding on to Swamiji again and again, whether you feel like you're failing or you feel like you're succeeding, holding on to the simple love to integrity. I love this work, I love Swamiji, I want to hold on to that. Holding on to that simple integrity is what we cherish. To put it in the simple words, how to answer your question, and with enthusiasm and dedication, that's all. That enthusiasm and dedication is just the love and the simple integrity to Swamiji. And how do you feel these approaches impact your overall well-being and sense of fulfillment? I think it is from fulfillment itself. It is not have to go and find your fulfillment in some part of your life. That is the paradigm that Swamiji is breaking here, telling us it is about being in that fulfillment, knowing that you have Swamiji in your life, knowing you have Paramashiva inside of you, and you just go out manifesting him. I think that's the way we have to really approach this understanding that Swamiji is teaching, and find that it is actually the way to thrive and live multidimensionally. And yes, thank you for your all of you for your time and being here as we're discussing the beautiful teachings where Swamiji himself is bringing out the way to live Paramashiva and Paramashivatva in our lives, live as Paramashiva, the highest possibility of ourselves, the best version of ourselves, how to live that way. We're just discussing here, but the way to get it as an experiential understanding for you is getting into the Paramashiva home sessions, and finally having the darshan in the night, where all of those powerful healings that happen during the day, removing all the conditioning, whether it's the conditioning to be rooted in fear, or whether it's the conditioning of always considering only other people's opinions as your success, whatever it may be, these conditionings we can really debunk and heal from, because they do so much of damage to our lives. But we can really heal from them really in the program with an understanding But finally, the blessing of Subramanya, blessing of Somaskandar in the form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Swamiji, does the actual work. The actual work is done by him. You'll see how the deeper layers of us are just healed away. At the level of the mind and the body, we can cognize a change in ourselves and manifest it through the yoga, puja, and all of this. But it is in the darshan, with his direct intervention, how he said, work directly with me. If you're working directly with me, then you know that you are going to live a multi-dimensional life. You're going to experience your multi-dimensional nature. And that's the way we can do. In the Paramashivam program, we work directly with Swamiji, with his teachings, and finally in the darshan, we address our prayers to him. So this is the benefit of being in the program. Something we want to mention before we close today, that is that if you are in the sessions of the Paramashivam program, one thing is you have the Naina Diksha, where he sees us, where when we are in the eyesight of our beloved Guru, when we are in the eyesight of Paramashiva himself, that is where the initiation happens, where everything is manifested in our lives. And the second thing is, your personal questions and any queries that you have about healing from anything, or you want to move beyond something, after the understandings that you have throughout the day, when you come to that understanding, you want a blessing for it to manifest in your life, you want to be experiencing your excellence or whatever it may be, you can address that in the sessions with Swamiji in the darshans, and he will directly attend to every message and every blessing he will be giving. And that is the compassion that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving all of us. The Paramashivam program is a $21,000 program, but for this Chaturmasya only, it is freely available to the world, that the whole world should really take and be a part of. So when you're sharing about Bhagavad Gita, also share about the Paramashivam program, how it is freely available, and everybody can come participate. So with this, Nithyanandam, thank you all. Shane, Nithyanandam, I didn't say, hopefully you are able to, is so empowering and enlightening. Yes, direct involvement is the word. Contact is one thing, you can just say something and you giving the listening to that person. Are they talking more than you? That is the measure. You should be able to help them to listen to themselves. That is the way you can do by giving the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is literally giving Swamiji to them. And when you help them listen to the wearing, they'll be listening to their inner Guru that is already there inside of them. Many times in our life when we read the Bhagavad Gita, we think this is just Swamiji speaking to us. Such beautiful things happen. So those are the possibilities we can get. So just adding to your understanding, and my Priya, if you don't mind, I just wanted to share this one more thing with you. And then Maharaj, my observations, what is intensity? I think we can conclude one word, if you want to say, as we're coming to the end, love. Simple love for Swamiji, simple integrity Swamiji. Have this alone and you'll have the intensity. You'll see how that manifests in everything you do. Let's celebrate, yes. Yes, Maharaj. So we'll end with the Purna Mantra. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you again where we'll be exploring more about Subramanya and how to. Thank you. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nitya Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. Paramam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.